Hello, welcome to this moon cycle for mamas video about the Capricorn lunar cycle. We just had a Capricorn new moon. When I'm recording this, it was just very early this morning. And so the moon and the sun came together at the exact same degree in the sign of Capricorn, marking a new lunar cycle. And what this means, and particularly what this can mean for parents, or even people doing their inner child healing and their inner healing work. So when we think of the sign of Capricorn, we often hear like kind of the stereotypes of like the boss, the bossy one, right? And so where does that come from? Well, Capricorn is an earth sign, and so earth signs they're the workers, like they're the ones who are like, they're steady and they're getting the things done on the material plane that need to be done. And not only is Capricorn an earth sign, but it is also a cardinal sign, so meaning that it takes initiative. It happens at the beginning of the season, so it initiates us into the winter season. And so cardinal signs are the initiators that go and take action. So Cancer, Capricorn, and Aries are the cardinal signs. So those are the kind of more, they initiate. So that's where that kind of boss stereotype comes from, and it's so true. I love Capricorns. I especially love Capricorn women. I work with a whole bunch of Capricorn women, and we do financial and business analyst work, and they just get shit done. Like, they just get shit done, and there's no like ego about it. There's no like needing to be like overly recognized about it. It's just, the fact is the work is there. It needs to get done. They have the capabilities and the skills to do it, and they just go and do it. And I freaking love working with them. So if Capricorn is a sign that's really about work, I'm really thinking this month about our parenting as work, as a job. People often say that parenting is the hardest job on earth, and as cliche as that might sound, it's so true. And parents know this, that is so true. It is hard work. It is a job. It is a responsibility. It is our duty. The training manuals are all messed up and there's no union, and it's work, And so thinking this month about our parenting as work, thinking this month also about our work as parents also being our contribution to the earth. Again, Capricorn being that earth sign, and us always coming back to thinking about our relationship with our Mother Earth, especially at this critical moment in time, right? Also thinking about, in light of kind of the seriousness and the weight and the responsibility of our work as parents, as well as our contribution to the earth through our work as parents. The third thing I'm really thinking of, just like intentionality in choosing the values that guide our work. Okay, intentionality in the values that guide our work. So Venus, at the moment of the new moon, at that exact moment that the moon and the sun came together in Capricorn, initiating a new lunar cycle, Venus in Capricorn also was in making a trine, which is a very positive aspect, like having a positive conversation with Uranus in Taurus, another earth sign. And Taurus being the sign that's really about our values, Venus being the planet that is all about our values. And so Uranus also being the planet of change, of abrupt and drastic change. And so this new moon and this whole lunar cycle, this whole next month, Capricorn season, to me is really an opportunity to make intentional changes in the way that we are being conscious of what our actual values are. What values are really guiding the way that we parent, right? Millennial parents, we are the first generation of parents who have full access to the internet and social media. And so especially those of us who are like, interested, there's so much education. There are so many different views, so many resources out there for us to learn about different parenting styles, parenting strategies. There's all these parenting coaches. Like there's so many different ways to parent. There's not one right way. There's not one size fits all. And honestly, a parenting style or strategy that might work with one kid might not even work with another. Like it's just such a unique, every situation, every person requires a unique strategy and outlook. And there's so many to choose from. It can be overwhelming. This shit is all trial and error. Like I said, the training manuals are all fucked up. Mainly, what are our training manuals? What is the job training that is included in this gig, right? It comes from how we were parented. It comes from what societal expectations are of parents and of children, right? And oftentimes those things are all messed up. They're influenced by colonial wounds. They're influenced by white supremacy. They're influenced by capitalism. All of these things, they're very wounded. They're not holistic. They're disconnected from the earth, from our spirituality, from the things that actually make us thrive, right? And so with all of that access to different resources, different ideas, if you see me looking down, I have like notes down here to keep me on track. But yeah, so to me, this cycle is a time for us as parents to get really intentional about what are the values that are guiding our parenting in action. So this requires us to be honest with ourselves, to take an honest look at ourselves. Also at that moment that the moon and the sun came together in Capricorn, initiating our new lunar cycle, Mercury and Pluto were making a sextile to Neptune. And Mercury and Pluto are also in Capricorn. Neptune right now is in Pisces. And so what that means, what it can mean, what it means to me, is that we have such an opportunity this month to really see, to really gain insight into what our shadows are, basically. This is insight into our shadows. This is a really, really favorable, supported, kind of beautiful time for doing shadow work. Shadow work is never fun. It's always hard. It's gnarly, right? It's the shadow. It's the opposite of the light. It's the things we don't want to look at. It's the things that we're trained to ignore and be ashamed of and all of that. But making this positive aspect, this sextile to Neptune and Pisces, there's this dreamy quality. And so I think that really working with our dreams, really, so a specific exercise you can do is before going to sleep at night, just as you're starting to fall asleep, you can ask a question, like ask your own subconscious, what are my values? What are my true heart's values? What are the values that I'm living by? That's the big thing. That's my big point of this month, is using this aspect to find out what really are our true heart's values, not the ones that are placed on us by, family, the way things have always been done, societal expectations, none of that. Our true heart's values that are aligned with what we truly feel, believe, and want. And then, are we actually living those out? And if not, what are we living out? Right? So that exercise, so asking yourself those two questions just before you fall asleep and just seeing what comes through in your dreams. With that Neptune and Pisces, there's being the Neptune and Pisces being active in this initiation of this lunar cycle, I think that dream work can really come through for folks. I will be engaging in that. So yes, so clarifying what our values are, taking the opportunity to examine if we are living based on someone or something else's values, making changes And the first step to making change, right, is like becoming conscious of it. And at the same time, it's kind of a lot. It's like kind of a rapid change happening this month, because at the same time that those things are happening that I mentioned, we also have at that moment of the new moon, the moon and the sun were making an aspect. I think it's a square to Jupiter in Aries. So Jupiter just recently moved into Aries, and so again, Aries is a cardinal sign of initiation. So this is really about taking responsibility. Taking responsibility for taking action. Just taking action. Aries is the fire sign, right? Jupiter is enhancing and growing and magnifying the fire of that fire sign, that initiative. And so based on what insights come through for us this month about what our true values are that we want to guide our parenting, that we want to guide the parenting styles and strategies and things, all of the way that we parent, as we gain insight into what the ones that we want, and versus the ones that we've actually been engaging in, if there's a difference. If there's not a difference and you're like in full alignment, wow, amazing. Please leave comments and let us know how you're doing that. But once we gain the insight, then taking the action and being empowered and having the confidence and that inner independence in ourselves to trust what our dreams are telling us, trust what our intuition is telling us, and be strong, against the current of the mainstream or whatever, things have been influencing you, whether it's family or society or what have you, or just your own, imagining other people's, criticisms and expectations in your head about how you should be parenting, what kind of parent you should be, where your kids should be at, how they should be acting, all of those things. Just being brave to not give in to those and to follow what your heart is telling you, basically. So hopefully that is helpful to folks, and I will see you on the next one, and thank you for being here.